Special Ops: Lioness marks the return of Taylor Sheridan, co-creator of the acclaimed program Yellowstone. In the show, Cruz Laislada Oliveira, a female Special Operations Marine, is recruited as an undercover spy in the Lioness program by Zoe Saldana, a CIA officer. The program examines espionage, dangerous covert operations, and the psychological effects on participants. As a result, there are other possibilities with comparable themes and strategies for viewers who are already captivated to pass the time until the release of the next Lioness episode. 2381, the 6th episode of Season 2, aired on Paramount Plus on Sunday, and the top TV program isn't slowing down at all. Hi everyone, hope you are having a good day. Before going to the main topic, I want to say like this video and subscribe to the channel. The most recent episode of the show may be the best of the season, and I want to concentrate on one thing: Zoe Saldana, fate. I don't want to give anything away, so I won't go into the rest of the episode's developments. However, we just need to discuss Joe's fate. A major suicide bombing occurred during a rescue attempt on a human trafficking organization at the end of the season's 5th episode. After the gunfight/bombing, viewers were aware that Joe was still alive, but that was all they knew. As it seems, Joe's destiny wasn't nearly as certain as supporters had thought. During the exchange, a bullet managed to get past her armor, striking her liver and lung with pieces. One of the most intriguing scenes I've ever seen on TV was what followed. Lioness is excellent overall, largely because to its excellent production value. They have the best gunfights and action scenes on TV. The plot of Joe's story changed with this. In order to stabilize her, one of the plane's pilots had to provide medical assistance. The action was just as intense as any previous shootout scenario on the show. I was holding my breath in the hopes that the show's best character would survive. I'll agree that as she was being brought off the plane, things were looking fairly awful, but we can't lose Joe. Do similar covert transports with pilots who also serve as EMTs exist in the United States? I don't know. It may seem improbable, but it was incredibly fun. We're talking about the world of black operations, of course. You can do anything. Above all else, 2381 was yet another masterful tale from author Taylor Sheridan. It's unclear what will happen to the best character on the best TV show. Is Sheridan going to kill Joe? He could do anything, in my opinion. All possibilities are there, but I must say that the whole gunshot wound/airplane incident astonished me. The American spy thriller television series is called Special Ops: Lioness. Taylor Sheridan is the show's creator. On July 23, 2023, the first season of the show premiered on the Paramount Plus network. On October 27, 2024, the show was once more renewed for a second season. The Task Force Lioness, a real-life unit, served as the inspiration for the Special Ops: Lioness television series. The group is made up of female U.S. Marines who are part of combat units in Afghanistan and Iraq. In Special Operations: Lioness, a female Marine raider is enlisted by the CIA to make friends with a prominent terrorist's daughter in order to kill him and stop a 9/11-style strike. Task Force Lioness was established primarily to increase the Marine Corps' access to women who may be participating in terrorist operations. However, Sheridan's program goes far beyond, examining the challenges of developing a genuine connection with someone who is viewed as the adversary. In Special Ops: Lioness, Oscar winners Nicole Kidman and Morgan Freeman play supporting parts, while Zoe Saldana plays Cruz's handler, Joe. In order to infiltrate international terrorist organizations like ISIS and kill significant targets, Joe, the head of operations, enlists and trains female members such as Marine Cruz Manuelos, Laislada Oliveira. They operate in fields where women's presence is frequently disregarded. Since local dress codes make them more difficult to spot, this issue turns into a benefit. As special forces, they must be extremely courageous and astute. If the Lioness agents are apprehended before Joe's quick response team, QRT, can save them, they could be tortured and put to death. The Lionesses must maintain their mental toughness. They want to use friendship to control other women, but when they carry out their plans, they break that trust, leaving their friends to deal with the risky fallout. The actual Marine Corps Lioness Task Force served as the model for the show's Lioness program. The female engagement teams who were initially stationed in Afghanistan served as a major inspiration for the activities portrayed in the series. Under the Lioness program, female Marine Corps members are dispatched to checkpoints in Iraq and Afghanistan to perform female searches and apprehend women involved in terrorist operations. The reason for this is that when cultural and religious correctness have rendered men Marines sensitive to needless offense, they are unable to engage with female civilians. Terrorists have more opportunities to exploit women in attacks when there is no obvious front line in a conflict. In order to find ladies in a certain region, the Lionesses frequently take off their goggles and protective equipment, exposing their faces. In order to gain the trust of the ladies they are looking for, they occasionally wear headscarves. The Lionesses check about 100 women every day during their missions, and they have discovered weapons, photos of U.S. military installations, and men disguised as women. In some places, it's not unusual to see propaganda materials and thousands of dollars. In addition to maintaining security and preventing explosions, the group assists in distributing essential school and hygiene supplies, including medications, to the local populace. The 6th episode of Lioness Season 2 was perilous and full of action for the crew. Josie confronts her father, Pablo, who may have ties to her uncle's drug gang, while the squad suspects one of their own as an insider. But Joe's Mexican trafficking mission went awry in Lioness' most recent episode, and she suffered significant injuries after an explosion occurred on the scene. The bullet wound made matters worse for the crew, even though she was already dealing with the guilt of the assignment. The most recent episode was chaotic and presented both teams with fresh challenges. The plot for Joe in Lioness Season 2 was established in Episode 5. To save the kids, Joe's squad attempted to stop the Mexican team at the border. This was carried out in order to protect the youngsters. But when one of the men turned out to be a suicide bomber, the entire group, including the children, was blown to oblivion and the mission went awry. Joe was unscathed by the explosion, but she was clearly frightened and felt responsible for all of the children's deaths. She suspected something was wrong with her on the plane when she discovered a gunshot wound on her, which meant the bullet was stuck inside her body, because there was no way out. The dark color of the blood gave her the impression that the bullet had made its way to her liver. She requested that Caitlin send a surgical team. She had a low pulse and blood pressure, so the co-pilot decompressed her lungs with a needle to get rid of extra air. But after this, she was unconscious. Josie and her father, Pablo, also had an awkward chat in the episode. She discloses that they are aware of his identity and his affiliation with her uncle's cartel. This immediately infuriates Pablo, who begins to slap his daughter until Cruz steps in and identifies them as the CIA. After seeing this on camera, Pablo's men show up. Nevertheless, Randy and 2 Cups stop them. Cruz gives Pablo 2 choices. Either they will arrest him for his involvement in the cartels and steal his assets, or he can assist them in identifying a foreign suspect and then be placed under witness protection. Kyle looks for a maid who turns out to be wearing a wire when the crew is searching Pablo's home. She turns out to be DEA agent Gutierrez's agent. Let us know in your comments. And stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks everyone.